Hi, guys, welcome to Tap the Good Spiritual Counseling and Transformational Coaching Services. I am your host, Dr. Mpadi Nkana. Happy Thanksgiving. It's day before Thanksgiving, so if you celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving in advance. However, in my opinion, Thanksgiving should be every moment, every day, every hour we get to breathe, we get to experience this mystery, this gift called life. We should be grateful and be giving thanks every day. So I'm glad that we have an official day, but it should be every day. Now, in this video, I'm going to speak about something that is very common to the human condition, and that is self-acceptance. When we talk about self-acceptance, you look around the world today and just how much is going on in our environment, how much social media and people looking a certain way, and video and photograph editing and supermodels, and now AI making people look who they don't really look like in real life. There tends to originate a tendency of comparing ourselves to others. You start comparing, the moment we start comparing ourselves to others, we start negating and hating who we are or who we think we are and what we have. We believe that maybe if I get smaller, I'll look as good as they do. Maybe if I get bigger or taller or whatever, I'll be accepted. So then you give the power to the external environment, you keep the power to the external world, and you expect other people to accept you, and when you don't accept yourself. So that's really self-denial. So self-acceptance is the act of moving from self-denial to accepting yourself exactly as you are. And now you will ask, Jacinta, how do I start accepting myself when I feel like dying? Like when I go inside, it's burning, it's not comfortable. The first step to self acceptance is self responsibility. If you don't accept yourself, then there are things in you, there are memories, there are beliefs about you, there are stories running at the back of your mind that get you to negate yourself. So once you take full responsibility of how you feel, so literally this is emotional intelligence. How do you feel? Not just about yourself, but about life, about where you are, about your job, about the world. What are your prominent feelings? So once you anchor into how you feel, your thought patterns, how you feel about what how you feel about most of the time. And if it's negative, you ain't gonna accept yourself. You are going to base onto how you feel to determine how you should accept or not accept yourself. So the first step, like I said, is taking full responsibility of yourself, then examining how you feel. If you're not feeling good about your life, about the environment, about your past, then it's time to release those thoughts and let them go. Now, how do you let go of negative emotions? Like, how do you let go of negative emotions? If you're feeling a certain way, it's not easy sometimes to release those negative emotions. But the first step towards releasing these negative emotions, again, is taking full responsibility that the way you feel is your decision. It has nothing to do with anyone, because nobody has ever gotten into your heart, into your brain to get you to feel a certain way. You are responsible for your emotions. We are each responsible for how we feel, and how we feel is more important than what we are feeling about. Because if you feel negative about something, that something has nothing to do with how you feel. It's up to you to decide, I'm just gonna let that go. So you take full responsibility of how you feel, and then you take full responsibility of your decisions. Somewhere, somehow, consciously or unconsciously, you decided to feel that way. Or maybe a feeling was triggered inside you because of a negative past, a negative story playing at the back of your mind, and then you didn't let it go because you didn't let it go, and then something else happens and it triggers us, triggers that negative emotions or negative story or negative memory. Then you start reliving the past. So the second idea is to start paying attention to how you feel. And there is something called scripting. I don't know if you have heard about that, but write down your most negative emotions that you feel every day. Write them down. And after writing them down, get another column, another title, and say, I will not feel this way today. And then write down those emotions again. Or you could just say, I will not feel this way today. And you do that in the morning. And then you write down, I will not feel bad about myself. I will not feel this. I will not feel that. I will not feel angry. Da, 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 da. And then immediately after that list, write down what you will replace, the emotions you will consciously replace the negative emotions with. So if you say, I will not feel angry today, identify an emotion that you would like to replace anger with. And in the beginning, gratitude is the way out. You would say, every time I feel angry, I'm going to feel grateful. One other thing I've realized that therapy could take forever, but that's up to you. You could decide to hire a counselor or psychologist to help you deal with your emotions, but it's still up to you to get to a point where you know what, I'm tired of feeling funky. I'm tired of feeling bad about myself. I'm going to choose to feel better. I'm going to write about the most prominent feelings, and then I'm going to write about I'm going to write about the most prominent negative feelings, and then I'm going to write about the feelings that I want to replace these negative feelings with. And it also gets into the thoughts you think about, because it begins with your thoughts. If you're, again, I'll have to be a little bit distinct. Sometimes you feel so bad because the feeling has now become a habit, and it's in your brain, and you're always feeling funky because now your brain is traumatized. The feeling moved from your subconscious mind, and it's now ingrained in your brain. So you're now feeling traumatized, you're feeling depressed, and sometimes you don't even know why you're feeling that way, but the brain has created this chemical whereby if anything triggers you, ta-da, the depression or the trauma comes in. Now at that level, you would have to contact a psychiatrist who is going to help you with some medication so that you can release that. And I'm not a psychiatrist, so if you are at that level of depression and trauma where you automatically just feel bad, it's time for you to seek out help so that you can manage these negative feelings. But if, let's say, you don't have insurance and you don't want to take the medication, and I'm not going to tell you what to do or not to do, but let's just imagine that you're not in position to take this medication. You are maybe in a country where that medication is not available. Maybe you're in a culture whereby feeling trauma is stigmatized and you don't even have the voice. Like mental health is not something that is focused on in your country. How would you how would you deal with your mental health? Well, these are some of the things that you could do. Your emotion, one thing you have to learn is that your emotions go into your body. Your body is not separate from your emotions. If you feel negative, if you feel sad, if you feel angry, if you feel stressed, all those emotions are going to get anchored into your body. They are going to be anchored into your nervous system. Remember, your cells, each of your cells is always eavesdropping on your emotions, on your thoughts, and your actions. Okay, so if you're feeling negative, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling lonely, or whatever negative emotions that you're feeling, your cells are hearing, they are listening, and they are going to take that as your truth. And anyway, it's your truth for now, it's your temporary truth. So how do you use this particular fact to release the negative emotions? Exercise. When you exercise, you start releasing all that negativity that has built into your system as stuck energy. Deep breathing. When you deep breathe and you give your body that extra oxygen, your heart beats faster and calmer. You start releasing all these negative emotions that are manifesting in your body as pain, as aches, and whatever else that you're dealing with. Number 4, when you do yoga, you guys, yoga is just this magic, I'm telling you. Like when you start stretching all the muscles that have contracted, all the veins and knots that have been contracted because of the negative emotions that you have accepted and indulged in for a while. When you start doing yoga, actually, after every yoga session, I feel so good because you've released, you've stretched out, you've allowed your nervous system to detach from all that toxic energy that has drilled in your body as negative emotions for a while. So again, exercise, deep breathing, yoga, and then also the foods that you eat. You guys, food has a lot to do with how we feel. Excuse me, if you're always feeling negative and feeling lethargic and feeling, lazy and weak and all of that, and then you change your diet from processed food to raw organic food, you're going to feel lighter, you're going to feel better, you're going to feel good. Eventually you're going to feel good. Therefore, when you change your diet, you start exercising, you do deep breathing, you do yoga, you're going to start feeling good. And the more you feel good about yourself, the more you accept yourself. However, you could also start accepting yourself without feeling good. You just have to do it. It actually begins with you accepting yourself and then working backward to release anything else that you don't want in yourself. You accept yourself first. You say, this is my body. This is where I am. I accept it. And it has nothing else to do with anyone. It has nothing else to do with anything outside me. I'm just going to work on myself so that I feel better about how I feel. Okay. And then the other tip is meditation, you guys. Meditation is power. When you meditate, it's written about in all religions and in all cultures. They say, be still and know that I'm God. How can you be still? By meditating. When you meditate, you are able to, first of all, observe the negative emotions that are always escaping your consciousness, but are literally eating away your peace. When you meditate, you're able to identify everything that is in you that has been logging in and piling up and literally eating you away. You're able to identify it, and also realize that you are the observer of everything that is going on within you. So meditation is so powerful, you guys. You'll be able to see, I didn't know I think about that all the time. I didn't know this is coming up. You'll be able to actually know the story that is running your life. So you can begin with 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, as if you can, 2 hours, even better. Your life literally changes. So that's the first portion of self-acceptance. You deal with things about you. You deal with your mind, you deal with your emotions, you deal with your thoughts, you deal with your body, you deal with your diet. Part 2 of self-acceptance is asking yourself, who is the self that I have to accept? Because if you think you're your body, it will disappoint you. It gets older and it might be hard for you to accept. If you think about your energy, as you get older, you lose that energy and then you stop accepting that. If you think about your weight, whatever you think you can think about, you're not. Whatever you can feel about, you're not. Whatever you see, you're not. Whatever you can touch or contemplate or create or remember, you are not. So self-acceptance is really knowing who you are. And you can't even know who you are because then there are two subjects there. You can only be who you are. And how do you be who you are? Once you know, first of all, even just knowing I'm not this. Actually, you can know who you are by identifying what you're not. Once you get to a level where you know, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not my body, I'm not my memories, I'm not my career, I'm not my desires, I'm not my plans, I'm not my clan, I'm not my sex, I'm not my body, blah, blah, blah. Everything else you know, you see, you touch, you feel, then you find out what remains. Who is looking behind those eyes? Who observes your breath? Who is listening? Who is there? And once you start getting on that journey of knowing who you really are, and then you will accept the self. Actually, you'll be like, oh my God, because you are the most mysterious, beautiful, perfect, spectacular being you have ever known. Besides everything else that you know, and you focus on the part of you that you don't know but can only be magic, peace, joy. You realize that everything else that comes goes, and nothing is as important as you are. Then you realize your relationship with God. If you don't believe in God, don't worry. When you get to that level, you know what? There is a power bigger, greater than me. Then you start seeing how to navigate life because you're led. You realize that everything is done through you and everything is always happening for you. If it's negative, it's waking you up to know what you're not. If it is positive, it's inspiring you to be grateful. If it's extremely negative, it's getting you to appreciate the positive when they happen. So you get to that level of like, wow, I am infinite. I am infinite. I'm magical. I am beautiful, because it's even beyond beauty, because you can't compare it to anything else. So self-acceptance, the ultimate goal of self-acceptance, is knowing and being the self that you will accept. Because once you be, and be the self, there is nothing to accept. You're beyond that. Self-acceptance is here at Spirituality 101. It's the path that leads you to the self. So self-acceptance is the path that leads you to the self, but it shouldn't be the ultimate. The ultimate goal is to find out who the self it is that you want to accept. And once you get to that level, nothing else will matter. Nothing. You realize that literally nothing else matters. There is a power greater than you and me, greater than everything you've ever known, seen, heard about, that is running your show. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for clicking on my channel. Happy Thanksgiving, you all who celebrate it. If you don't celebrate it, take time and just be grateful, because we still have a chance to experience and create and serve ourselves and enjoy this mystery called life. Now, if you have not joined my membership, it's time, because I'm going to offer in the membership side. You really get into, you access all the tools and techniques that will transform your life, and you get to choose what you want to see. So in the interim, I'm sending you abundant love from my heart to yours. Thank you so much once again for visiting, and love and light. Bye.